So Cosatu will today commemorate 20 years since the bus crash in Bethlehem that claimed the lives of 51 workers. A bus carrying Cosatu members from Kimberley plunged into the Saulspoort Dam en route from May Day celebrations. Today's commemoration will honour the lives that were lost while also focusing on the challenges facing workers today. Newzroom Africa's Govan Whittles is in Bethlehem. He joins us this morning. Govan, great to see you from a rather misty Bethlehem on this Workers' Day. And one wonders whether the President will be able to address today's official commemorations.
That is really the cloud that hangs over Bethlehem this morning, aside from the mist. Michelle, we're joining you from just above the Saulspoort Dam, originally known as the Saulspoort Dam. It was renamed in honor of the municipality where these workers came from, where the crash happened. Take a look at the dam and I'll try to explain exactly how this bus crash happened. So, first of all, this doesn't look like a road that a bus should be driving on its way back to Kimberley, because it's not. The crash happened because the bus driver had taken the wrong route and had come onto this route insisting that this was the way back to the Saulspoort municipality. He was working with the GPS. They say it was a cold and rainy night with a lot of mist when the workers were on their way back. Essentially, they didn't see the dam when they made their way on this gravel road. And to put it plainly, the bus essentially just drove straight into the dam. The workers died by drowning. And a little bit later, we hope to speak to some of the neighbors here, specifically one gentleman who helped rescue a number of workers using his boat after he realized what had happened. So today, Cosatu is here to commemorate the lives of those lost in that bus crash in 2003, but there are also a number of workers' issues to address. And let's speak to the Free State Provincial Secretary of Cosatu, Mr. Matlatsi. Thank you so much for your time. Sir, let's begin first with the commemoration. There will be a wreath-laying ceremony here a little bit later, Mr. Matlatsi. What can we expect from Cosatu in Bethlehem today?
Yes, thank you very much. Today, we will be commemorating the 20th anniversary of that tragic incident. And this morning, we started with a briefing of the leadership, and they'll be making their way here to the dam. And when they arrive here, two things are going to happen. One is going to be the wreath-laying ceremony that will take place at the memorial. And then secondly, we planted trees in honor of each and every life lost here. And we have renamed those trees in terms of those workers who lost their lives. So what will be done also, it will be the unveiling of those stones that have engraved the names of those workers. That's what we intend to do. That's what the program will do when it comes to site.
Cosatu said it wants to focus on the workers who lost their lives. So this is May Day celebration and a commemoration of their lives. But there is, of course, there are worker issues to address here. Firstly, there's the public sector wage issue, which hangs over Cosatu and the ANC's relationship at the moment. You're also a member of the CEC. What has the CEC decided in terms of how workers will receive the ANC representative, which on the program looks to be the President, Cyril Ramaphosa?
We have discussed the matter, and we have agreed as a CEC that we are going to do our best to separate the ANC from the state as the employer, and we have agreed that we are going to encourage our members to have an activity that would really be welcoming to all the guests that have been invited, and that includes the president of the ANC, because he is invited to this event that is hosted by Cosatu. So that's our view as the federation, that we have issues, of course, with the government as an employer. We have issues, of course, with the employees of the ANC who are not doing what we expect them to do. But this is the day where we want to mourn and remember those workers who lost their lives. So we are going to do the best that we can so that we can honor those lives that have been lost.
Mr. Matlatsi, is a very diplomatic answer. Let's try to get to the point of it. Is the President confirmed to be in Bethlehem? Will he be here, and will he make an address on behalf of the ANC?
Yes.
All right. There's been a statement, or at least a comment from Nahau, that there's a CEC decision, but they can't necessarily control what the workers on the ground do. You're asking workers not to boo the president. Are you sure you'll be able to prevent them from voicing their frustrations about the public wage?
We have asked them not to engage in activities that may be seen as disruptive to the program, because we believe that this is our event and we have to have a very successful event today. Yes, there are issues and we can't predict on what would happen, but all we're saying is that we have engaged our members and they've given us an assurance that the event will proceed to its ultimate conclusion.
You've decided to separate the ANC from the state. How can you do that when the ministers taking the decisions about the public wage are ANC employees?
We are in a Cosatu event that is going to commemorate the workers who lost their lives. That's what we want to do, and we want to hear what the ANC as an alliance partner is saying. We have a lot of issues, as I indicated earlier, and those issues have to do with how the ANC is marshalling its employees who are in the state. But in this event, it's our event, and we want to mourn those workers.
You're coming to a May Day rally while one of the unions in Cosatu is suing the Federation, or taking it to court, rather, to challenge its decision on endorsing the South African Communist Party for the elections. How will that affect the attempt to get unity at this program?
We have made an engagement with a specific affiliate, and in the CEC, all our affiliates were there, and all the affiliates have committed that we are going to put differences aside for the purpose of the event, and we will engage the end of May, the last week of May. Our CEC is sitting, and it will consider all those issues.
The ANC says the proposal to reconfigure the alliance is, at least according to its national chairperson, is an attempt to liquidate the ANC and remove it as the leader of the alliance. What does Cosatu think?
I think that's a very interesting observation from the chair of the ANC. But in fact, what we want to do is to level the playing field. The ANC, even if it's the leader, it can't continue to play a big brother in the alliance. So we want to level the playing field so that all the partners engage on issues from an equal footing.
Thank you so much. Lastly, Mr. Mahlatsi, May Day rallies have also been a test of whether or not Cosatu can still bring workers out to listen to the speeches of the leadership. And by that, the measure would be whether you could fill a stadium or essentially get thousands of seats filled. What's going to happen today at the Bethlehem Sports Grounds?
Yes, today we are going to bring as many workers as possible to the stadium. But hey, remember, we're from COVID and many other things that have destabilized our finances. So many of our members would also be joining online and listening to what is going on. So the people that are at the stadium will not be an exhaustive picture of how many workers are watching or are listening to or are participating in the program. Yes, we're bringing as many as we can because we're bringing a lot of buses from the Northern Cape as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monyatso Mahlatsi is the Secretary of Cosatu in the Free State, speaking to us here just on a few hundred meters from the Saulspoort Dam in Bethlehem. They're bringing a lot of people from the Northern Cape, specifically from the Saulspoort municipality. That's because of the focus on that bus crash in 2003 into this dam. That's what we expect to dominate today's speeches at this May Day rally here in the Free State. It's certainly what the ANC wants to talk about. They've made that clear leading up to this event, but it'll also be another test of whether or not the ANC will be received well by the workers of Cosatu, but also of whether the CEC's attempts to get workers not to disrupt the rally, to allow the president to speak, not to boo him, will actually be respected by the workers themselves, and thus giving an indication of how relevant the Cosatu leadership remains with the people on the ground who are currently essentially fighting the state in that public sector wage standoff. Michelle, it's back to you for now, but later on we'll give you more coverage with the wreath-laying ceremony here and, of course, the rally at the stadium.
And, of course, it takes place in the context of numerous challenges facing workers today. Govan, Whittles, thanks very much indeed.